Welcome back, Guardians, to another Destiny video. And before we get into this video, first up, just want to say this is a Photoshop edited video of an idea, which you'll learn about in just a second. But before we get into this, I'm giving away another emblem. So if you want to be entered to win this emblem, make sure you are subscribed to this channel, hit that like button down below, and leave me a comment telling me what exotics you would equip on what class and what class type. So before I get into my ideas, there was a post made on Reddit a while back, I think it was 2 days ago, or something like that. An exotic requested Bungie for the end of Destiny 1, and it was by a person called Seriflex. I will link this in the video description down below if you want to go over there and leave comments on the Reddit post. But basically, he asked that before Destiny 2, towards the end of Destiny 1, could the exotic limits be lifted from the game and allow us to equip more than one exotic armor or more than one exotic weapon? Now, I've always thought about this being a thing, and I wanted to create my own hunter with all the exotics that I would equip on said hunter. So let's get into it. First and foremost, I would have the exotic Outbreak Prime equipped as my primary weapon, just because it's the newest and most unique gun in the game at the moment, and I don't use it as much, so I would rather have that and try that out with this full setup. But you know, most of the time if it's Crucible or something, I'd be using legendary weapons. But just for argument's sake, I'm going to use the Outbreak Prime. For my secondary, I don't really use exotic secondaries ever, so I just went with the Trespasser because that gun is incredibly fun to use across the board. Now for the heavy weapon, I would go with my Raised Lighter Sword. One of the best things in the game, in my opinion, does massive amounts of damage, and I absolutely love using it. But I wouldn't use that for PvP. If I went to PvP, I would use my Iron Gallahorn. But I really wanted to talk about armors being equipped rather than just weapons, but I thought I would include the weapons as well, just for a bit of fun. So let's get into the armors, and we're going to start off at the boots for the hunter. So I would equip the Frost EE5 leg armors, and what this does, the perk is, while sprinting, gain a tighter turn radius and faster grenade and melee regeneration. So if I mix that with the Memory of Yoldar artifact, that will remove the sprint cooldown penalty, allowing me to run forever, as well as have a tighter turn radius and get grenades and melee back faster. And that's going to mix with something later on for my gauntlets. So next up, we'll move to the chest. So because I'm using Blade Dancer, I think I would go with the ATS-8 Tarantella or Tarantula, however you want to pronounce it. And what that does is it reduces the arc damage from Minions of the Darkness, which is fine, but arc grenades and arc blade recharge faster. Again, faster regeneration of that grenade, and arc grenade specifically, is very, very important. And the ATS-8 Tarantella or Tarantula actually is a really cool looking piece of armor. I really love it. It is one of my favorite looking armors in the game altogether. So with all that being said, for the gauntlets, I would choose the Shinobu's Vow. Now for Blade Dancers, these quite possibly are the most overpowered exotic for them. It depends on what you like in the game, but I really love those skip grenades. Now skip grenades, even without the Shinobu's Vows, can be pretty dangerous if you throw them into a half health enemy or someone without a shield. But these just make them overpowered. What they do is it improves the skip grenade, and you gain an additional skip grenade charge. So you get 2 skip grenades, and they have better tracking, and they are just better in general. Mixing that with the ATS Tarantella to have the grenades charging faster, and the Frost EE5s to have the grenades while I'm sprinting recharge faster, I'm going to be getting a lot of skip grenades very, very quickly. So I really love this setup. I think it's awesome. So let's move into the helmets. Now I chose 3 different helmets here because first and foremost, I want to talk about looks. So if I was going for pure cosmetic how I look, I would go with the Celestial Nighthawk. I think it's a cool looking helmet, probably the best looking helmet of all the hunter helmets for the exotic tier, but it is for Golden Gun, so it wouldn't do me very well to set it up with my Blade Dancer, but I did want to include it because it looks so damn cool. Next up, I would go with the Knucklehead Radar. So this is the second helmet, and it kind of helps all classes, but I think it looks really cool, especially with the super black shader, because it just changes the whole helmet into a black helmet, and you kind of just look like Cyclops or something awesome like that. And what that does is radar remains visible while aiming your primary weapons, which is always helpful across the board. But the one that I would have to go with for Blade Dancer, there's no choice whatsoever, Mask of the Third Man. And this makes Arc Blade use less super energy while you're attacking with it. Now the reason why I chose the other 2 helmets is because they change with shader and they look cool. I don't really like this helmet, especially because it doesn't change color with shader. But all in all, it is the best pick. So that would probably be my super overpowered setup for my hunter in terms of armors. Now the weapons can interchange here and there. I just wanted to include them for a little bit of fun. And just for the hell of it, I upgraded the stats of discipline, strength, and intellect just for a little bit of fun. It's not really going to get that high with all them exotics equipped, but I wanted to put it on anyway. So, would this actually happen in game? Let's just say no. Let's just straight up say no to that. I don't think Bungie are going to do this for two reasons. One, it's a lot of work on their behalf trying to get it to work in game, because I reckon taking the exotic limit off and equipping all these exotics will just break the game. Not in terms of break the meta, like just break the game where people can't spawn or people just die instantly to everything in the world, or the whole Destiny game just blows up in your Xbox or something like that. I could see that being a real possibility. The other one is that, you know, it's kind of like a thing. It's kind of like a gimmick of sorts where you can only have one exotic equipped at a time. And I don't think Bungie would want to change that. I think they're really proud of that. It really makes the game a little bit more interesting in building your characters, because you have to pick and choose what armors and weapons you want to use in your exotic tier. So I don't think we will ever see something like this come to the game, but it was an incredible idea. So I'll leave the Reddit post down below. Make sure you go over there and show love to the original poster. I actually sat and thought about all classes and all subtypes, so I've got a few ideas for other things, but Blade Dancer really screamed it out at me. So if you want to see other videos on other classes or other subclasses, and of course, remember to subscribe, hit the like button, and leave me a comment with your setup of what you would have on your character for a chance of winning that emblem. Hit the like button if you liked and enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. I have been easynow, and you guys have been awesome.